Well, I'm gonna jump right into one of the conversations we was having, last week about Terry McLaurin. I know you don't want to kind of talk about this again, but it's still still hitting the fan, man. There's a bunch of articles out there. I was just reading one, where they're talking about, now they're saying he's unhappy, according to a source, and trade speculation, and I get it. This is a part of the business. I get it. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know if you check, man. And the reason why it made me talk, because I'm like scrolling yesterday and I seen a couple people talking about it now. Like after we done talked about it, now people starting to actually talk about the fact that they may not sign him, or they may not sign him where he wants to be, or even a trade, man. Are you still confident this is going to get done, man?
1,000%. 1,000%. This is all a crock of shit. All of it. Now, is Terry frustrated that he doesn't have a contract? I'm sure that he is. Has he wiped his Instagram clean of Washington stuff? No. Is he still out here doing things for Washington? Yes, signing autographs and doing all the stuff as a Washington player, 100%. Now, is his agent coming out and saying stuff? Probably. I'm sure that he is. I'm sure that he's very vocal because he wants his client to get a deal. And this organization and this regime, if you've noticed, not a lot of information comes out. So there's not a lot of conversation coming out about Terry's trade talks because not a lot of people know anything. But we're in June. No one has anything to do. And Terry McLaurin is not signed yet. So, of course, this is going to be the topic of conversation. I guarantee you he does not get traded. I guarantee you he plays for the Commanders for the next at least 2 years. And I'm going to tell you why. Because God forbid Terry does not get an extension, which I see happening. But in the rare situation where he doesn't get an extension, he's still signed for us for 2026, and we can franchise him for the next year, giving us 2 years, and then we're out of the Terry McLaurin business. But I don't even see it getting to that. I see us signing Terry. I've said it a million times on this platform. I'm going to say it one more time. A week before training camp, I 100% expect to see Terry McLaurin signed and playing for this team. Now, if he's not signed, I still 100% expect him to play for 2026 and 2027. We shall see. But Terry McLaurin will be a Commander in 2026, whether with a contract or not. But I'm going to continue saying it and banging my hand on the table that he will have a contract and he will play out his entire career with Washington.
Yeah, I think so too. But I just think that there's something going on. But definitely, like there's a negotiation that's going on. Is it going to get done? I do believe so. And once he's signed, the distraction will be gone.
Right.
If it's even a distraction, it's just something for people, to talk about. I'm gonna read a comment from. I was looking at a video where a guy was talking about it, and somebody must have been a Commander fan. They put this comment. They said, "While Commander fans are saying give Terry whatever he wants, this is also what Commanders fans have wanted: trading up for Caleb, keeping Sam Howell and drafting an offensive lineman, making Eric Bieniemy head coach, making Ben Johnson a head coach, hiring anyone but Dan Quinn, trading for Brandon Ayuk, trading for Myles Garrett. Yeah, I couldn't care less what the fans want. Let's let football people take care of player personnel." What do you say to that?
Hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
When you got fans, especially in this fan base, when it's been a downtrodden franchise for a lot of the people 30 and under, right? You just want something so bad. And all of those things that you talked about, it has been a debate within Commanders fan base throughout the time that those rumors were circulating. And at the end of the day, you do have to let the football mind. This is what we wanted since Dan Snyder was in office. And now that he's out, this is exactly what we wanted. We wanted football people to make football decisions, albeit sometimes easy, sometimes not. And would Terry McLaurin not being in a Washington uniform hurt the fan base? 100%. Do I want to see him in a Steelers uniform or Chargers uniform throughout any of his career? Absolutely not. But then people are in place for a reason. And people are smart for a reason. We trust the front office. We trust what everything is going on. So whatever it is right now, we got to trust the process and allow football people to do football things. And until they do something stupid or shady, which they haven't done yet, and prove to us that we can't trust them, we got to allow this process to take its course. Now, what I personally think is happening right now, and I have no inside information, this is just me kind of looking at it and kind of gaining my own assumption. It's a year thing. Terry may want 4 years. They may be wanting to give him 2. Terry may want 3 years. They may be wanting to give him 2. These are the contracts that they've been putting out the last year and a half, these last couple of seasons. And I think that's all getting ready for one, trying to empty out a roster that wasn't never belonged to them in the first place and get new players that they want in their vision. And two, getting ready for that Jaden Daniels contract coming down the pipeline in 2.5 years. So they may be having a conflict right now on the number of years as opposed to the number. And I think that'll come to fruition. But let's say it doesn't. We got to trust the football people, man. I love Terry. I think that he's probably one of the greatest things we've had in this franchise in the last 30 years from an on the field and off the field representative. So I want to see him finish his career here. But if he doesn't, then I trust the football people. As hard as that is, as hurt as I be, I trust the football people, man. And at the end of the day, I want a Lombardi. I want 17 to be there. But if he ain't, he ain't.
Now, how would you feel if they moved off of him? Let's say, all right, I don't think they're going to trade him this year. Let's say if they didn't re-sign him and he played on his final year of his contract and he walked in the free agency, they let him go, and y'all moved in a different direction. Maybe that's getting with Debo, letting Debo him walk, clear the books, maybe drafting a younger guy to pair or trading for whoever. I don't know. Throw the name in there. How would you feel about that? If the organization, or if they said, "Look, man, we're going to trade them now, get some draft, get a first or second round pick."
I'll put it to you even further. Let's put a name out there. Let's say, for example, after next year, so after Malik Neighbors' third year, he wants to come to Washington because we know Jaden is his best friend. Are you telling me that I can get a Malik Neighbors in year 3 over a Terry in year 10? A 24-year-old in the prime of his career versus a 32-year-old toward the tail of his back in his career. As much as I love Terry, would I be mad on Sundays if I seen Jaden Daniels thrown to Malik Neighbors? Not really. I'd be pretty fucking happy. So it's kind of like, this is why fans don't make these type of decisions, because we ride with emotion. There is no business. It's all emotion. So, I mean, if you'd have asked me this when we were shit, I'd have like Terry McLaurin over everybody. Give him $40 million. I don't want to see him leave the door because he means that this is our Lombardi. Him. But now, I mean, you're looking at a team that's trying to win a fucking Super Bowl. So, like I said, hopefully that's with Terry. If God forbid, like you said, if the worst case scenario happens, he's traded or he's not here, it would hurt. But I'm still gonna watch every Sunday, and I'm still gonna see if there is a number one receiver out there that can go and do the job. Terry McLaurin is, to me, one of the best receivers I've seen in a Washington uniform, and I say he's top 12 in the NFL. But if we can get a top 10 or a top 6, yeah, I'd be upset for a little bit, but I'd get over it on Sundays.
Yeah, that's what I say. I love the players. I'm a fan of the team.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Whoever dons the uniform, that's what I'm gonna ride out with. When they leave, I'm against them. You know, but right. I just think it's one of those things they're gonna let people talk. You know, I don't think there's anything to the trade speculation. See, when you're an owner, you're thinking 3+ years out, probably even further out. You're not thinking emotionally or whatever the case may be. So I think it's just a numbers and maybe a year thing. Maybe it's a guaranteed money thing. You know, who knows? So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. It's just funny how, I see like people kind of catching up. Now people are actually talking about it, on podcasts. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've seen a few.
Brother, how long? I mean, we early in our sports podcast journey, but how long have we been seeing that shit, dog? That's no surprise to me whatsoever. I don't care how many views, anything, people watch and people emulate. I'll put it that way.
Right. So yeah, I mean, I want y'all to fucking fall apart. I want it to be turmoil over there. Trade him. I don't give a goddamn. Get rid.
If like, okay, so you got to all right, let's just talk a hypothetical trade scenario right now. One, you say a second round pick. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to get a first round pick. Would they? I don't know. Would it be a player on player? If you're telling me that we could get a second round, not even a second round, let's say player for player, TJ Watt versus Terry McLaurin, would you do it? As much as I love Terry, we do need an edge. If he came out and got 17.5 sacks and helped us win 2 games, I'd get over it. You know what I'm saying? This is why I'm just like, I want to see the football people just do football things. And one thing I love about our regime now is they don't care about the outside noise. They don't care what's being said. They're not going to be pressured by fans to go and do something stupid. Like Dan Snyder might have been pressured seeing all this and would have had his GM or whoever crony he had say, sign that man to $40 million. Yeah, I don't care what you have to do. And took the power all out of the people's hands that he put the power in place for. So I like what they're doing, man. They're not going to be persuaded in any type of direction. They're going to let their business do their thing, and I think it's for the right.
Yeah, and again, you thinking maybe he's not in the long-term future plans of the Washington Commanders. Maybe they see, a year or two, and they're thinking, all right, after this, we're gonna let him go. Who knows?
I
We'll
hope.
see. We'll see.
I hope
Right.
he retires as a Commander. I like as a fan, I hope he retires. But we also have to keep this in mind. He was not signed by Adam Peters. He was not signed by Josh Harris. Now they know how influential he is to that city. Don't make it no mistakes about it. But he's not their guy, so to speak, to where it's like we need to get this done. Even though I think it's going to get done, you got to keep all those things in perspective, man. It's all real.
Yeah, most definitely. I want to play this clip here, and get your opinion.
Yeah.
On